Walking on corpses. We've done it. I mean, at least I believe that we've finished Act 4. It's just the last quest line where we meet Nocticula. But I'm still going to call her Nocticula. And the page is still wet. The book tells of the murderous massacre committed by the Lady in Shadow among the Colossus demons of the Midnight Isles. It seems it happened quite recently. Oh, more gods. Okay. There's so much knowledge. I did not expect this. I expected extravagance. I mean, succubi, yes, but not working. Interesting. So she is not only holding, but using knowledge. The Lady in Shadow's library is called the Vault of Graves. It contains the biography of everyone whose life Nocticula has ever taken, and her victims are innumerable. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, that's not of interest. No. Can we find here? Let's loot the place. Shining scale, carved urn. I mean, you always feel in a game. I mean, the game wants you to take stuff, but still it feels like looting. Even though I kind of liked the fact when we talked to the boys that were sent by the succubus, by the madam, to kill us. And you might have remembered that we've already looted that place, and they actually talked about it. They said that someone broke in earlier and all of their stash was gone. I mean, back when I found their hide hole and we went in there, there was a lot of loot, and I was surprised, to say the least, that we received so much in terms of loot. It's just, I love these games that build upon information and actually use them. It's just, it gives you a feeling of a living game. It's just not static. It's not an NPC was tasked, if that happens, ignore it, because we didn't have time to program that one. Yeah, that's just not a good game. The tall shelves are stuffed with countless books and scrolls, praising the Lady in Shadow's many deeds. Some tomes are old and threadbare, others are new and in mint condition.
Whatever.
Yeah, so I guess this is where the succubi live. Projector. Mysterious stranger, both the wonder and the tragedy of mortality lie in the fact that there is a certain moment after which the process is final and irreversible. The essence that departs the judgment of the Lady of Graves is no longer what it was in life, and we as scientists must account for this in the system of knowledge we are constructing.
I found something.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
There's something here.
An unfinished draft of a letter. Greetings, colleague. I thank you for the selection of materials that arrived along with your last letter. Unfortunately, I'm unable to procure even the simplest specialized studies at present, as Golarion's libraries are out of my reach. Must this may be written by the storyteller? Oddly enough, it's currently easier for me to receive the necessary articles by contacting a like-minded individual from a different plane of reality. In our last letter, we went over the matter of resurrecting those who stepped into the murky waters of the River of Souls. Evidence shows that those who have appeared before Pharasma's judgment and learned of their fate in the afterlife do not answer calls from the world of the living. They cannot be revived by any means, but is that truly true? Do you think it would be possible to revive such a person, at least in theory? On another topic, there are known cases of ascension or acquiring divine form through powers that no one to this day has taken the time to study thoroughly. There are a plethora of examples in Golarian's history, such as Arodin, who led humankind to civilization, and Iomide, who followed her former mentor in the godly host. As I ponder these cases, I can't help but wonder, could this process be controlled? Could one create the right conditions, choose the right living material, and bring into being a creature of divine power? I'm certain that you have encountered similar phenomena in your practice and would like to discuss this matter further. Perhaps you are still in possession of notes or drafts that could shed light. This seems to be extremely important. I kind of feel like the entire game revolves around this topic right now. Like this woman, I forgot her name. She who opened the world wound. Arilu Volesh, right? I guess she wants to become divine, maybe? That's what all of this is about. The Nahindrian crystals, the storyteller, the world wound opening. Maybe she's trying to acquire power to reach divinity.
Interesting.
A pile of sketches. The drawings depict fragments of various rituals that lead to the opening of rifts and portals. I mean, they must have found some way to open the world wound, and probably happened here. A letter in small handwriting. May glory be showered on your head. Your interest in the creation of demi-planes is understandable. Any individual who has reached a certain level of power seeks for themselves a safe haven, a peaceful place for study and rest. That is why I place my high hopes in your prudence. Remember that any demi-plane is but a shard of one of the true planes that typically remain under the watchful eyes of the powers that be. As such, I do hope that you haven't incurred the wrath of any of the powers that hold sway over the fringe you've subjugated. As for stabilization, alas, there isn't much you can do once the fragmentation and consolidation have been completed. Nonetheless, I have no doubt that you've given enough consideration to such important matters and ensured that your creation will be safe for you and your servants, unless of course you're preparing an elaborate trap. Your fellow colleague, Vatrach Kwan. Okay. Lexicon of Paradox, Part 2. Key to the Last Threshold. You learned something new from this book. Oh. Many mortal researchers have ventured to turn their scientific curiosity on the phenomenon that is the world wound, noting that it appears to have a life of its own. Strange natural phenomena, spontaneously arising ruptures, unique vegetation and living creatures found neither on Golarion nor in the Abyss. Oh. Interesting, so the world wound is connecting Golarion and the Abyss, but there are creatures that are there that are unique and not found on either plane? Well, that's interesting. So, maybe this connection, maybe it's connecting more than two planes? Everything is constantly in flux, appearing and disappearing at unpredictable intervals. Through this movement and alteration, if not all through its order, one can detect the logical functioning of the organs of a living being. Oh. The truth is that, indeed, the world wound possesses a semblance of life, and its very structure presupposes a connection to a living soul. This line of reasoning sometimes leads me to unscientific implications. Namely, if the creation is in essence a reflection of the Creator, then can we say that the world wound is a reflection of my soul? The world wound was created and then improved, and at the same time a being of duality was cobbled together from the essence of the Abyss and the essence of a mortal soul. Normally this process requires an essence taken from a creature with strength comparable to that of an imperial or abyssal lord, but there are ways to circumvent this requirement, in particular through the use of the Nahindrian crystal's rare power. In this section I refer to this being as the key, an instrument that allowed me to significantly expand and strengthen my original creation. Due to his undual nature and connection to the world wound, the key was given the opportunity to obtain amazing powers. However, everything has a price. Interesting. A being of duality, the essence of a mortal soul. Okay. Circumvent the requirement of abyssal lord through the use of Nahindrian crystal's rare power. The world wound is linked to the key, but the key is also linked to the world wound and carries in it his soul like a deadly affliction. This affliction is indeed fatal. The duality of the soul grants amazing powers and primes the soul's owner for transformation and for the bestowing of incredible abilities. I mean, I guess Arilu Volesh has this soul, but this duality is also slowly killing the soul's owner. Ah, this is a problem I've yet to solve. What happens if I use this book? Where is the book anyway? No. What the heck? Where is the... Oh, we haven't yet taken it, right? Let's just use it. Day 17, month Callistrial, year 4716. The letters written by the hand of Arilu Volesh appear to have a life all their own. A moment is in attention and they begin to disperse, changing shape and moving toward the edge of the pages, though they are planning to leap off. Focus on the text. Morgraine's attention focuses on a couple of words that seem to have only just swapped places. The words freeze as though they never moved at all. But out of the corner of his eye, the commander sees several words on the other side of the page begin a discreet game of leapfrog. Set aside the lexicon of paradox. Okay. But at least we found the second part. Okay, books written in multiple languages, the titles that can be translated are dedicated to research into the nature of souls. Well, that's not disturbing at all. So this was where Arilu Volesh lived, or what? Okay. I guess we're done here. Succubus. Doesn't like when we talk to guests. Our Lady in Shadow, the Queen of the Midnight Isles, Lady Nocticula, Demon Lord of Darkness and Lust.
Greetings.
Oh, she is here. A stately shadow comes toward you. In its hands, a small mirror sparkles and shimmers with an unsettling light.
Greetings, Commander.
The Dretch, called the Suture, grins as he shifts clumsily from foot to foot in a crude attempt at a courtly bow. Why did we save him anyway? And the flash marked interesting. I mean, he has risen into power, right?
Lady Arilu, allow me to express my deepest admiration of your work, and may I just ask...
Under Arilu's imperious gaze, Ninio stutters and awkwardly falls silent. The writers of this game like the word imperious. Fancy seeing you here. I have a lot of questions for you.
You are looking for answers. That's good. That is why I am here. I have much to tell you.
A hint of a smile dances across Arilu's lips.
You have walked a long path, one where shadows constantly flicker at the edge of your vision, and questions multiply like flies above carrion. It is time for answers. At least, some of them.
Arilu lifts her mirror and you fall into its cold, shimmering depth.
Day 16, Aridus 4715. Experiment, transformation. Subject, let's skip that. Objective, to embed the essence of a Nihindrian crystal in the soul of the subject. Expected result, the essence will coalesce with the subject's soul, which will ready itself for total transformation, triggering the concomitant powers. The time has come to put my plan into action. You are my creation. Your power was my gift. Now you know.
Stares at you, her gaze unrelenting, probing. The witch is silent for a long time. When she speaks, her voice is unreadable, betraying no emotion. Well, we already knew that she was up to something and made... I mean, obviously, she manipulated us in some way. Let's say I believe you. Why did you need to do all this?
You are asking the right questions, but the time has not yet come.
Ah, such special memories. Remember the laboratory, do you? I told you back then. Go on, look around. See all the ones Lady Arilu worked on. Here with us is definitely the place for you.
The Bretch grins in satisfaction. I wonder, can we maybe become a god in this game? If we follow her path? I mean, we can't. We aren't on the path of good and right. We are on the path of evil. We are on the path of righteousness and becoming an angel. So, interesting. Or maybe we can still become a god, just a good one. Well. The unseen angel does not speak, but his silence seems to thunder in your ears.
Your power is of the same kind as that of Nulkineth, Jeribeth, and the other demons that you have met. The power of the Nahindrian crystal dissolved into the blood lies within your soul. I have already hinted at this to you once before, when I left the essence along with the lexicon of paradox in my old laboratory, and ordered the suture to make sure the gift found its way into your hands.
It's an odd wording. The suture, not ordered suture. She's not referring to his name, but she's more referring to some sort of position or title. A suture for what? For the world wound? Is it his soul, maybe, that's keeping the world wound at bay? I mean, maybe he is the suture in the wound. Or maybe something along the line. That's the wording is odd. She's not saying ordered suture. She's not referring to his name, to his personality. That's odd.
But there is more. Do you remember when you were taken to Canobris with a wound that would not heal? Do you remember how Terendelev apparently healed you? That was merely an illusion. The dragon was only able to temporarily dull the pain. In fact, it was I who saved you, when I came to you in the caves and implanted a crystal within you. No, saved is not the right word. Your wound is still not healed. That is why your wound weeps blood from time to time, every drop of which burns your enemies.
As if to confirm her words, blood begins to seep from the wound on your chest. Eerie flames seem to dance within the crimson drops.
This is pure essence of Nahindrian crystal. My invention is far superior to the crystals used by Xanther, which were barely refined at all. It will give you new strength and help you to overcome the wound that still slumbers within your soul. Take it. Take it, and you will see that this is the very power that has lived in you since the Battle of Canobris.
What am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to accept that? She will... Okay. Okay. I'm not sure. Refuse the power. It's not going to work. She will offer you to become her sword and do all the deeds. Is it important what we choose right now? Nocticula walking on corpses. I need to study this situation for a moment. Walking on corpses. Walk through. Blah blah blah. It's supposed to do here? Nocticula will make her appear. Ah, okay. If you want the secret ending, be sure to follow the step 12 instructions during your conversation with her. Either way, comment on Sucha immediately, then ask her about her ploy. Doing so will open a perception check. Okay. That doesn't explain. What am I supposed to choose here? Trading on corpses. What if I accept her essence? Can we still become a good benevolent angel then? Go through the portal, unsecure. Okay. Attend the meeting. Speaking with Arilu, you will gain another mythic level, whether or not you decide to take the power it gives you. If you want the secret ending, cooperate with Arilu and show your desire for knowledge to earn her approval. If you decide to work, then you can hunt by. Okay. If you work with Nocticula, what? Okay, so there's a multitude of choices we can do, and apparently there are even secret endings in the game. I didn't continue to read about those, I didn't want to know these. That's not going to work, you need to tell me everything first.
Very well then. Ask your questions and I will answer.
What is this wound in my soul? How dangerous is it?
It was my mistake. My failure. I failed to... The tale is too long to recount here. Your wound is a reflection of the world wound in a way. It is very dangerous, even if you do not yet realize it. It is not a disease, but rather an abscess, which will one day burst and kill you. It cannot fully be healed until the world wound is healed. No doubt you have felt this affliction on several occasions. It awakens when you use your power. It makes you sense more strongly what mortals call the corruption of the abyss. Until the world wound is healed, you will have no peace.
You followed me.
Like a witch in a fairy tale, I watched over you from birth. From before that, even. And I kept detailed notes. You were chosen and prepared for a special destiny. I am pleased to see that you still wear them. I enchanted them specially to protect you from danger. I am glad you found my gift useful.
I can't remember where you got the braces with your name and the inscription I promise on them. Seems like you've always had them. Interesting.
Aside from this, I helped you, even when you were unaware of my presence. I saved you and your unfortunate companions when you fell into the crevice in Canabris. In the Grey Garrison, it was I who distracted Minago to allow you to approach the Wardstone. And in Dresden, I appeared under the guise of Yoniel to guide you toward the Sword of Valor. And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the Suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
As it turns out, oddly enough, you helped me thwart the plans of your masters Baphomet and Ascari.
They are not my masters, they are a resource.
Why was that whole ploy with the light lab necessary? You were ready to sacrifice your servant, the Suture, for it.
You always have to sacrifice something. I wanted you to go to the laboratory to see with your own eyes what I had been doing and what I am capable of, so it would be easier for you to accept the truth. The laboratory is the place where I prepared your ascent. And the Suture was the only one who I could trust to execute my plan and explain everything. After all, he too once experienced rebirth at my hands, and that is why I was willing to risk his life.
It would be better if you just told me everything instead of playing mind games.
Knowledge gained independently through research and experimentation is far more valuable than knowledge that is simply given. That is why I wanted you to go to the laboratory yourself. I just gave you a nudge in the right direction.
Tell me about Nahindrian crystals. Start from the beginning.
Nahindrian crystals are formed from the solidified blood of demon lords. Their properties are not well known, even among the inhabitants of the Abyss. And there are reasons for this. Acquiring the blood of a dead demon lord is very difficult. After a demon lord dies, their body is instantly absorbed into the Rift of Repose. Only the Lady in Shadow knows how to kill them in a way that allows her to preserve the bodies of her fellow lords and transform them into a solid state. That means that Nahindrian crystals cannot be obtained anywhere other than the Midnight Isles. Or rather, it was impossible until recently, when I managed to experimentally obtain a crystal from the blood of a still living lord. You saw the result. A dagger made from Discari's freshly shed blood, which I left for you in Canabris. As regards the use of the crystals, that is a discussion that would take time, a very long time. Someday I will finish my groundbreaking treatise on the transformation of Nahindrian crystals, although it is unlikely I will ever publish it.
So you figured out how to use the crystals to imbue living creatures with power.
Not just any creatures, demons and half-demons. The soul must have a stable connection with the Abyss in order for it to receive the power of the crystal. Experiments involving tieflings and mongrels failed because the voice of the Abyss was not strong enough within them.
Valuable information. The Order will be interested to learn this.
What have you done to my soul?
Your soul? I changed myself by knitting my soul together with the essence of the Abyss. And I changed you. Do you remember the fits of rage that began shortly after Discari's attack on Canabris? This is how the second half of your soul manifested itself. Not yet fully aware. Not yet awakened. It's a pity you did not choose to let your demonic nature take hold. The result would have been most impressive. All those arrogant crusaders, those knights with their eyes ablaze, those pious priests. They have installed at the head of their magnificent army a scion of the Abyss, the creation of the architect of the world wound, whom they so revile.
Installed at the head of the magnificent army, a scion of the Abyss. Oh, she's talking about us. Oh dear. Creation of the architect. So we are partly a demon. That's problematic, but we did not choose that path. It is strange to see you here in Nocticula's palace. Who do you really serve, Discari or Baphomet?
Both. And neither. I have served both Discari and Baphomet, and not merely as the lowest in the pecking order. But I do not think you'll be surprised when I tell you that to me, both of these mighty lords are merely convenient temporary sources of power. And their time is almost at an end. But the Lady in Shadow is different. She is the preeminent ruler. Soon you will understand this for yourself.
Interesting. I would like to hear the Hand's opinion on this. Can I accept her power and still become a benevolent angel? My power is different from that of Jeribeth, Nulkineth, and the others demons.
Yes, because I taught Xanther and the other servants of Baphomet and Discari the earliest version of this transformation ritual. I spent decades perfecting it until I obtained the power that I gave to you. Power in its most purified form, cleansed of the filth and chaos inherent within the original blood of the demon lords. Your power is as pure as thrice distilled water, but it resonates with other powerful sources of supernatural power, such as the Sword of Valor. And your power can change. You must have realized this already. You have shaped my gift into a form that you yourself have chosen. You are seeking answers, trying to understand the crux of the matter. That is good.
What I want to know is this: what do you want from me?
Patience. Before we continue, I want you to receive your power.
And now the episode ends. I need to research. If we touch the essence, will it have dire consequences for our angelic path? I need to find out. So, bye until we meet again.